Hey everybody, this is Mike Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer Hobby Supply once again, and today we're going to do update 106, and I'm going to show you a couple of things. It's not going to be too long simply because the small detail areas just don't take very long to cover. But let's get into it and see what I've been up to. Okay everybody, I've had some people ask me what some of my t-shirts say. This one my grandkids got for me in Durango, Colorado when they went up there for the Polar Express train. Okay, what we're going to cover today is that I have most of the, if not all, of the housing done there in the back. I might point out that you can see that I put a tree in there. There's also some greenery right in here and greenery right in there and greenery on the other side of that fence and over by that railroad crossing sign. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit on each one of these houses and let you take a closer look. Okay, here are the first two houses in the row. The kit on the right is a wood kit. The kit on the left is Grandma's house. It is I think it's Grandma's house. It's a pre-built Woodland Scenics structure. You can see that I put different fencing around the different houses. Tried to clean them up the best I can. And I'm going to get into a tool in a few minutes and kind of rehash that tool. But anyway, let me go on to the next two. Okay, here are the next two in line. The larger one with the two cars is Robin and I's house. It was Robin and I's house on the old layout, and that is her and I sitting on the front porch. And we have a dog house there. We have a couple of cars, and that is a wood kit. And I don't remember specifically who these kits were made by, but all I can tell you is a wood kit. The one on the left is also a wood kit, but by a different manufacturer, I am sure, because the style is quite a bit different. I am not sure who the neighbor is out there on the front porch, but we'll give him a name at some point in time. Now let's move on to the next two structures. Okay, these are the last two structures in the row. The one on the right is a Randy Brown Arrowhead, what used to be Arrowhead Models building. I believe it was a sheriff's building or something, I think. Anyway, it's been turned into a house. It's not a very good house, but it's tiny and it fits in that area well. The kit or the house on the right is nothing more than a block of wood with some holes cut in it and a porch put on it and some windows painted on it. But I think it's effective. On these you can see that I've put grass in and put trees around the houses, and I'm going to swing the camera around here if I can a little bit. You can see that I put greenery along the edge of the road here all the way around to where that tow truck is and to where the fences start, where the mobile homes are. In effect, all of that scenery back there is done. If I swing the camera back around here, you can see some places back there on the rock outcroppings where I have put foliage. And up on the top of the rocks there, you can see some flowers, some flowering foliage. I just went around and just put some dabs of stuff just to give it a little more character. And you can see that there's greenery way down there right across from Sierra Madre all the way up to the lunch counter over there, the little lunch stand. So let me back up and get a whole shot of this. So here's a shot of town coming out the highway, past everybody's houses here. And on around to the mobile homes. And on out to the sawmill. Okay, now we're down at the other end, and you can see, if you look closely there, you can see that I have put lines on the road going all the way up onto the backdrop and over the railroad tracks way back there. And if I swing around, you can see the road lines going up and over the bridge. And let me move you forward a little bit. Okay, so from here you can see the road line goes on down there. You can see that I have placed one lone palm tree that's just managing to hang on back there in the distance. Planted by the gas station folks when the gas station was still going. Another thing I'll point out here is I used some tan wash on the gravel road going over here. You can't really, I don't know if you can really tell here, but it was really stark gray before. Now there's a little of the surrounding earth color mixed into that. And the same thing for the road coming back here to the cattle pen. I know it's not real evident, but it is toned down when you see it in real life here. If I swing back over here, you can see that I have not put my road grader and my caterpillar and stuff back in where they go in place. But if we back up here, this entire area is what I would classify as complete also. The only thing I haven't done is put some cars out here on the road. I'm going to get to that tonight. The minute I turn the camera off, I'll put two or three cars out there, because there is some traffic from mine to mine out here, so workers and so forth. Okay, another thing that I've done here is on all the locomotives that I have changed motors on, put new decoders in, and that sort of thing, that I know what the service record is lately. What I've done is I've written their service record on the back of their card. On this particular one here, you can see that it says new yokes front and rear. This would be an Atlas locomotive, and I believe it's an SD24 or 26. I think there might be a 26, but anyway. And I put a new TCS decoder in it because when I got these locomotives here, I was still using lens system, and they had lens decoders in them. That tells you how old these locomotives were. I lubricated it and I cleaned the trucks, and I did that with all three of the SD24 and 26s I had. So they are all spiffed up. They are now out at the fairgrounds because the fair starts this Wednesday, and I'm planning on running them out there for a little while and try and get them all broke in. So anyway, I have documented what I've done to every one of these locomotives on the back of the card, then drew a line there so I can do the next date and the next date, and just hopefully keep continuing on with this documentation of service records. It really helps you down the road when you're getting, when you can't remember what type of decoder a locomotive has, or, you know, especially when you've had them a long time like I have. You don't really, in most cases, I don't really remember. I've had them so long. Okay, we're going to take a look at one more thing before we move on. Okay, everybody was teasing me about the diner simply because they said, what happens if a guy walks out the back door? They're going to get killed. So the management decided they better put up a chain link fence back there to keep them from falling off the cliff back there. This is what the diner looks like. I'm going to take you around to the window and show you what the other side looks like now that I've put some foliage around it. Okay, this is the best picture I can get through the window here. And I think you did notice that right there, that post, I've obliterated the number on the other side. I've got to clean that off. But that's not a big deal. But you can see now that they have a chain link fence back there so the drunk employees can't fall off the cliff. And we do have some scenery around. Also, you may notice, let me back up here, you may notice that right there behind the Texaco truck nearer us, I have put the speed limit sign back in, and down here on the other side where that maroon colored car is, I've put a yucca back in over there. So the scenery over here where the diner is also complete. Also thought I'd just, a lot of people said they didn't even know the window was here, but this is the window in the garage, so if there's people inside, people outside can be seeing what's going on. And this is what you see from the window. You can pretty much see the entire layout along with my tripod that I've been using. But really from the window you can see almost everything that goes on inside. And then I have the little window down at the other end of the garage here where the loop goes through, which I think I pointed out in a couple videos ago. So anyway, this is a look through the window. Now what we're going to do is we're going to revisit a tool that I've been using immensely lately, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. Okay, I mentioned that I want to show you a tool. When I was doing all that scenery work back there by the houses, once you get done putting all that stuff in, and I did like 1 or 2 houses at a time and let them dry, and then did the next ones and the next ones. So it took me a few days just to do the scenery in each yard, because I don't know if you noticed it or not, but the shades of green are different in the different yards and so forth, because they all use different grass seed. But anyway, so it took me a little while to do that. And once I was done doing that, I tried to control where my glue went that glued down all of my scenery work. And in doing that, you leave a lot of ground cover on top of structures and on the road and things where you don't want it. But if you don't get the glue on there and you don't glue it down, you can go in there and essentially vacuum it up. And I'll show you this tool here. This is what I have shown you many years ago, or many moons ago anyway. This is a tool I got off of, I didn't get it off of eBay. I think I just saw it on the internet, and I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. And basically all it is a fitting here that fits onto my small tube on my little shop vac here. Then on that, this goes into this part, and what this is this is just a holder that holds all of these little flexible plastic tubes that are kind of like little straws. The cool thing about this is when I put this in here, there's a lot of suction through these tubes, and the cool thing is it won't suck up people, it won't suck up cars, it won't suck up anything that you don't want to suck up. I mean, unless it's a little tiny cat or something, it might suck it up. But nevertheless, I'll get a close picture here, hopefully. Let me see if I can get this close. Come on, focus up on me here. Focus up. I don't know if it's going to focus. Anyway, you can see that it's nothing but a bunch of flexible tubes. And I can just brush this along the road surface like so, or I can just pass it over the top of a house without too much fear of hitting something and breaking it, because they're pretty flexible, a lot like broom whiskers. They're a little stiffer than that, but you get the idea. And they're all sucking air through them, so they'll pick up any kind of grass material or anything like that. Now, on this end, I think what you might be able to see is that some of those holes are clogged up with debris. What I have, and let me see if I can find it here real quick. I have a small piece of brass. You could use anything. You could use, I don't know, whatever fits. But this just happens to be a piece of brass I had. And if and when those get clogged, I pull this end out of the vacuum, turn it over, stick this in the end of the vacuum, and just put my hand around it. And then I just push the debris back in the opposite direction, and it sucks it right out of those tubes and cleans this thing out for me. What I like about this, and I've bragged about a couple of things in the way of cleaning my layout. This is one of them. I can use this pretty much on grassed areas or anything real gently, and it'll pick up a lot of dust and so forth. I can use it directly on track. It'll pick debris right up off the track, and it'll go right down on the ties, and the pieces, the flexible tubing, will go on either side of the track. I have a lot of uses for this. I don't know where to tell you to go. If I can find a link, I'll try and put it in the description when I get this video edited. But nevertheless, I find this really, really handy. It's a nice way of vacuuming without sucking up everything on your layout. And I used it a lot over there by the diner, and I use it a lot over by the houses over there. And the other thing that I brag about is the dust dabber. And I know it's nothing more than kids' toy stuff, slime. But anyway, this is Dust Dabber by Woodland Scenics. I swear by this stuff. It's excellent for cleaning water surfaces. It's excellent for cleaning locomotives. I went over it in another video, but I can't have a layout and not have this stuff, because it'll clean anything on the layout. And it'll clean the microchasms that the vacuum will not clean, and the dust that actually sticks. So anyway, the dust dabber and that little vacuum attachment are pretty much lifesavers for me as far as cleaning the layout here, and I just wanted to rehash that. As far as that goes, there hasn't been much else going on out here. I've just been concentrating on those areas. I'm thinking about concentrating on the substation over there and getting that mounted and kind of cleaning up that little area over there. It's just a very small area to get done over there to finish that. Actually, to basically finish the base scenery. I still am working on the fuel facility and sanding facility over there. Still don't have a clear-cut idea over there, but I'm sure I'll make a decision at some point, and we'll get back and do 107 or 110, 110. We'll do 110, and that'll be a new one. Well, okay, everybody, that's it for number 106. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and as usual, wait for it. Thanks for watching.